Okay, so today we're going to talk about a little device that has, well, pretty much taken over millions of homes. The Amazon Echo Dot, specifically the 5th generation. You've probably seen it, right? This little sphere. But what's the big deal? Why is it everywhere? Let's dive in and figure it out.
All right, let's just start with this thought. What if? What if you could just talk to your house? Imagine walking in and saying, play my chill playlist, or when you're settling in for a movie, dim the lights. No fumbling for a remote, no looking for your phone. That's the dream, right? Well, that's exactly the world the Echo Dot wants to create for you. And that's pretty much the Echo Dot in a nutshell. Yeah, it looks like a cool little speaker, and it is. But the real magic, the secret sauce, is the personal assistant living inside of it, Alexa. Think of Alexa as the brain behind the whole operation, ready to take all those little tasks you do every day and handle them with just a simple voice command.
All right, so before we get into all the cool stuff it can do, let's talk about the device itself. First things first, what does it look like? And maybe more importantly for a speaker, how does it sound?
So the first thing you notice is the look. It's this compact, round shape. They moved away from that old hockey puck design a while back, and I think it was a great move. The whole idea is for it to blend in, you know? It's designed to look less like a gadget and more like a piece of decor you'd actually want in your room. It's small, it fits just about anywhere. A nightstand, a bookshelf, your office desk, it just kind of fits.
But, okay, what about the sound? Because let's be real, for a speaker this tiny, you're probably not expecting much. And that's where this 5th gen model really surprises you. They've totally redesigned the audio inside. That means the vocals are way clearer and the bass, it has no business being that deep from something so small. Now, is it going to replace your fancy stereo system? No way. But for listening to music in the kitchen or podcasts in your bedroom, it's a huge improvement over the older ones.
A good speaker is great, for sure, but the smart part is what really makes this thing special. So let's talk about the brain of the operation. Let's meet your new hands-free assistant, Alexa.
So, how do you even use it? Honestly, it could not be easier. You just say the magic word, Alexa, and you'll see that little blue light ring pop on. That's its way of saying, yep, I'm listening. What do you need? It's basically always just waiting on standby, ready to jump in and help out. And you can ask for all sorts of things, the most common stuff, right? Like, Alexa, play music. Or maybe you're getting ready to head out the door. Alexa, what's the weather today? You can set timers and alarms, Alexa, set an alarm for 7 a.m. Super useful. Or even help you keep track of things. Like, Alexa, add milk to my shopping list. It's perfect for all those little thoughts you have during the day that you normally forget.
So you see how it all adds up, right? It becomes this little helper that's always there. You're cooking and your hands are covered in flour, you can set a timer. You're arguing with a friend about some random fact, you can settle it instantly. It's all about doing those things without ever having to stop what you're doing.
Okay, but being a personal assistant is just one piece of the puzzle. This is where things get really interesting. The Echo Dot can actually become the command center for your whole smart home.
So here's how it works. If you've got other smart gadgets, things like smart light bulbs or those smart plugs you can put anything into, the Echo Dot can find them on your Wi-Fi network and take control. It basically becomes the boss of all your other smart stuff. And this leads to those little moments of, well, pure magic. You're all cozy in bed, you've just found the perfect spot, and you realize you left the lights on. Instead of getting up, you just mumble, Alexa, turn off the lights. And poof, done. It's those tiny conveniences that really add up.
And that's exactly why this little device is such a popular starting point for people. If you're curious about this whole smart home thing but don't know where to begin, the Echo Dot is, well, it's perfect. It's not super expensive, it's easy to set up, and it's not intimidating. It's a great first step into that world. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A device that's always listening? That sounds a little creepy. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, privacy, because it's a super important question, and Amazon has put some controls in place. The most important thing to know is this. There's a physical button right on top of the device. When you push it, the microphone is electronically, physically disconnected. This isn't just a software setting, it actually cuts the power to the mic, and you'll know for sure because a bright red light turns on. Red means there's absolutely not listening. And the control doesn't stop with that button. You also have the Alexa app on your phone. You can go in there anytime you want, see a history of everything you've asked, and if you want, you can delete it all. So you really are in the driver's seat when it comes to your data. Okay, so we've covered the look, the sound, what Alexa can do, and the privacy stuff, which brings us to the big question. Is the Echo Dot actually right for you?
Well, here's how to think about it. It's pretty much a perfect fit if you're just dipping your toes into smart home tech. It's also fantastic if you just love listening to music or podcasts and want a super easy way to do it. And of course, if the idea of having a little hands-free helper for random questions and timers sounds amazing, then yeah, it's for you. For what it costs, you get a ton of value. So when you put it all together, the small design, that surprisingly good sound, and all the smarts of Alexa, it's easy to see why this little sphere is in so many homes. It really brings us right back to where we started. Our homes are getting smarter every day. The tech is here. So the real question is, are you ready to start talking to it?